Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
It's the Inner Power Podcast, episode 24. Yeah, that's my little bit of
Nice.
sign language. I've been doing.
24.
Yeah, 24. 24. Episode 24.
Is that how you do it?
24, yeah.
That's how
That
you
was real
okay.
fast. So it's 24. There you go.
Nice. Okay. How would it be 124?
124.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to...
I've got practice. I got my sign language test in a couple of weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, we've gone real chitty chatty. We've got an episode going on here, you know.
Hi guys.
All right,
Hi.
slow and steady
Nice
wins
to
the race.
see you
That
again.
kind of
This
ironic.
is it.
Yeah, I'm in that slow and steady wins the race frame of mind. So we've got a guest. Hello, Matt. All right. It's all right. You're live on our podcast, mate. That was Matt Ward. You can check him out on his Facebook profile, singer extraordinaire. Matt's a black belt as well.
Oh,
yeah, he
fantastic.
competed in the past. Okay, let's crack on. Slow and steady wins the race. So what are we talking about today then?
Consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
Well, not expecting results within 24 hours, although, it happens. But
Yeah.
to be fair, that's kind of seldom, right? Majority of times, things require time, right? And we tend to give up before we see results.
Well, sometimes people give up before you get started.
That's true too.
Yeah, I think we're going to drop some top tips today anyway.
We will.
And I know, like I've had been, whether it's overwhelmed, sometimes in business there's so much to do. Sometimes there is, and often in life there's so many things we want to do, right?
No, 100%.
And we all want it yesterday. So we'll give you some tips to kind of, not let that overwhelm, I guess, and understand that don't need it all now just because someone down the road's kind of where you want to be yet. That's actually a good thing. Go from there. Don't forget though, what they got to do. 5-star review. And just stay with us today. Just stay with us today.
Today
we are properly zoned out.
As you can see, slow and steady. I'm very slow today, just so you have to forgive me. Everybody has those days, so give us 5-star reviews.
You're watching this live. If you probably maybe watching this live, this is actually pre-recorded because I'm away on the day that you'd be watching this. But so the moon is in full force, isn't it?
Yeah,
so I think it's energy is just all over the place. So stay with us. Slow and steady wins the race 100 and more percent, basically.
Yeah.
All
consistency, 100% consistency. Sometimes, like we said just a second ago, you won't see results, but it's not only about the big picture or big goal you're saying. It's about enjoying what you're doing. Okay, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, what is the point of doing it anyway? In the first place.
Yeah, definitely.
So, for example, you might have a big goal for yourself, right? And you see yourself achieving it. It's frustrating when it's coming slower than you originally planned. But then if you ask yourself, would I be rather doing something different instead?
Yeah.
Or I enjoy doing what I'm doing, even though I don't see the results coming yet?
Yeah.
And if the answer is yes, then just focus on enjoying the journey because it takes time. And personally, I think I can speak for both of us. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I certainly will.
I am Aries. And like you said earlier, I want to see my results right here, right now. Okay. If not yesterday. Because I like instant manifestations. But it doesn't work like that. There will be things that will be coming instantly, but there will be lots of things that will be long coming. Right. So I think, especially this year, this is next level of training my patience and tolerance.
Yeah, but
I can be honest.
Yeah, I think that's probably you find that's every year though.
It
in
is.
some respects.
I think
you're pushing yourself to you are pushing yourself to a totally different level, right?
Totally different level. But I must say this, even though that I know for a fact that I am often impatient and I can't get frustrated. That happens to me, just like everyone else. I also can get myself back, to center. I can rebalance myself with the thought, why am I doing this? This helped me massively. That's why I mentioned that earlier. Why am I doing this? Would I be rather doing something different? And the answer is no. So that actually helps me to take a step back and just relax.
Yeah.
because I know, things are coming. They are requiring time. They're requiring other things to fall into place, align with my idea, with my goal. And they will be coming like everything else that came, till now. Other things has to, they have to come in their own time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought I'm going to share that with you, because it's one of the things that quite often stop us from taking action or from pursuing our dream. And we keep talking about pursuing our dreams and believing in our own visions. But the thing is, you see, it requires this belief in the things that you can't see it. And quite often you can't just line it up and just see what is, on the road ahead of you. You just have to trust that it's working out. And sometimes you get to a point where you get frustrated because you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And the only belief is the thing that it keeps you going.
Yeah.
But then those things are coming, right?
Yeah. So obviously that's where you need to visualize a lot.
Oh, 100%.
So I was just thinking as you're talking there, because it's obviously, I think it's quite an interesting subject actually, because and I was just thinking about my own experiences as always. And I think I remember like when I took the business over for the first time, and one of my mentors said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I was having, a coaching session, and I was like, I want to get this done. I think it's Nick Doherty, by the way. So if you're a great coach for martial arts or fitness, if you still do that, I don't know. But yeah, so it was on like a Zoom call way back in the day before people often knew what Zoom was about because he was based in the States. But yeah, I remember him saying that. And I think when there's so much that you want to do, you can't do everything in one go, especially, if it's business or sometimes even, in relationships or anything. Like we want it all now, but things do take time. And I think when we get in that headset, I need it now, or you see someone doing the thing you want to do and maybe it eats at you or whatever it is, or so I remember I was trying to write a book and set a podcast and doing all this stuff, and and I think then you start to have like a scarcity mindset, and it has a bit of a negative impact on you. And we said off camera that sometimes I think you just need to implement this one thing, get used to it, implement the next, get used to it, implement the next, get used to it. And it's just, stagger yourself up. So if there's lots that you have to do, I think just focus on the one thing that you feel is going to make a big difference today, and just work on that. And that's still going to take time, but you only got to make a 1% change in something. Won't seem like much, but if a boat changes course like by 1 degree, you don't notice it at the beginning, but once you've gone across the oceans, that makes a big difference, right?
And it's again, down to consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely,
right.
Definitely.
One small bit, one small step after another small step after another small step will add up, and in the long run, it will give you the result you're aiming for, or even better.
Yeah.
I think there is a very important element that we need to add to it. Just in order to make this journey more pleasant, we just need to apply positive attitudes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you can't be positive about what you're doing, again, what is the point of doing it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're choosing your path.
Well, start with the end. Start with the end in mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
And have that as your positive. So be positive about that, think about it, visualize it, and keep that going. So I think start with that, and then you can reverse engineer it back, but say, well, I'm going to have that mastered by X date, and just keep, like you're saying there, it's like stay positive with it. And I think you can do that by visualization or meditation. We talked about crystals and angel cards last week. If that works for you, stay on that, because it will make a big difference. I
mean, there is no rules, for what will keep you, positive. And personally, like you said, last week we spoke about crystals. We spoke about angel cards. Me personally, I do like tapping into this kind of energy because it really triggers my imagination.
Yeah.
And it helps me to focus in a positive direction. And I know some people are thinking, oh, this is wishy-washy or very woo, for starting. I'm woo, so, there's no surprise there. But I do like when something is stimulating me, and not only me, many other people, in a positive way. So give me, for example, flower, like we have flowers there. And as I'm looking at those flowers, you can't see that, but as I look at those flowers, it straight away puts a smile on my face. And It's the same with cards. If I have an angelic card in my hand, right, that even though I might be in a moody state of mind, I look at something what represents something positive to me, right? It automatically triggers something in my brain that makes me focus on the good and positive, and the smile is coming up. And I much rather prefer to practice this kind of energy, because this is the type of energy that helps you to create positive outcome, than just stay in the funk that I was in, before. And even though for some, angelic cards is just weird stuff, it works for me. It really works for me. And I, the same way I like, crystals, I like going and just smash the training session that helps me to get back on track, and it's a choice that you make every single day, so we can't belittle, the methods we are using, as long they are giving you a positive result and it helps you get back on track and stay positive, just do it.
Do you know, I'm glad you highlighted the roof. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you'll see this on camera, but we'll flip it around and I'll just describe it, because obviously we got people on the podcast. So I'm not even going to look to see. So this is our view, and it's a roof, isn't it? It's not exactly pretty. It's black things. There's a wheel that's falling off the barbecue by the look of it.
There's something very pretty right in the middle.
There's a bit of cut off from somewhere, and ugly air conditioning units, whatever. Yeah, but then in the middle there's these flowers that have grown up. So it's what you focus on at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yes.
So that one bit of beauty around that, wow, it's just whatever it is. I think that's, again, we always come back to what you focus on. It's the same thing, remaining positive, and that's going to help you achieve the goal. But I think when you try and rush stuff, you end up cutting corners anyway. And whenever you take a shortcut, you either get lost,
or you're losing on quality.
You go the wrong way, you lose out on quality, definitely. So something has to give. And if there's loads of things we've got to do, I did a task once. You guys can try it. It's multitasking is a lie.
And there is no such thing.
What is it, being a lie or multitasking?
No, multitasking.
No, exactly. Because you have to test it out. So I'm going to talk about it, right? So I think it is from a book. So I'm not sure the book. So it's not something I've come up with. So whoever did this originally, the credit goes to them. It's very important. So you write out a letter at a time. You have to do it 2 lines. And you have to time yourself doing it. So you're writing out multitasking is a lie, yeah? But you have to go M on one line, M on the next line, U. So you kind of going up and down like this. Yeah, so you're writing it out twice and you time yourself doing it.
Okay.
So it's a great it will prove that multitasking is lie. So you write out multitasking is lie, and so you're doing a letter at a time on each line. Then you write down your time, how long it took you. Then you do it again, but this time you write multitasking is a lie, one line in one go, and multitasking is a lie on your line, and you'll do it quicker. Try it.
Interesting concept.
Try it.
I also, what I've learned is about multitasking. It's actually quite interesting how we actually reverting from the main subject again. Just a fun fact, right?
But it's not really, because, sorry, Ange, because ow, hit me with an energy slap.
Oh, no, limon.
The podcast, Ange just slapped me across the face. You didn't hear it. It's not because when we feel like we've got loads to do, that's like for me then. So I was trying to do like 4 or 5 different projects at a time. So I was multitasking, wasn't working out, and all it did meant that each one took longer and none of them got finished. So let's switch this round. So let's say when I did the book, just going to focus on that purely now. Book got done.
So again, just what you're talking about is, first of all, concept of multitasking is not really that you can't do many things at once. It's impossible, right? It's like you cannot think about 2 things at once. So how can you do 2 things at once if you can't think 2 things at once, especially if they are opposite things? What is happening really behind this so-called multitasking is the ability to switch from one task to another, right? But then the question is, how many tasks can you switch in between to achieve high level result? right? So if you have too many things you are dealing with, the quality of each thing will be not deprived, that's not the word, but it will be deprived.
Well, it'd be,
Let's say deprived,
yeah.
but it will be less because you still have the same amount of time, right, to achieve those things. So if you let's say you commit the one task,
well, one task done is better than 5 tasks not done.
But what I'm saying is, just the thing is, you see, you're compromising, with quality between those things. So you have still the same time, right? So if you do only 2 things, one thing, the quality of the task that you're doing in that time will be much higher, and level of satisfaction will be much higher. But if you decide to fill the same amount of time with 5 different things and keep switching between them, you will be cutting corners, just like you mentioned that earlier, right?
Yeah.
So
and then you won't have a triangle anymore. You have a circle.
Yeah.
And just be going round and round and round and round. I like that.
That's why people go loopy when the moon is full.
Yeah.
So many tasks. Yes, but no, in the reality, that's the thing. And we have this tendency that we actually take too much on, and then we beat up on ourselves for not being able to accomplish them to the level we want.
Yeah, and then we don't actually finish a task or a project.
There we
Think,
go.
I couldn't do it, or I didn't get it, or was decided to leave that.
And what happens then? I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
right? We have 50 tasks on your list, right?
My instructor Stephen, he used to say, you'll start telling yourself a little story.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you told me that.
I did that one. Yeah.
I think we all do that.
We do,
regardless the level of your.
Used to say it make you. You'll tell yourself a story to make you feel nice and warm and fuzzy in your tummy, to justify why you couldn't do it.
Yeah, true.
Which is so true.
It happens.
Yeah, it'd be like you got mummy love. Oh, don't worry about it. We got tough love. Those lessons never went. Thank you, Stephen.
But that's actually a very valuable tip.
I think it is. Yeah.
It
well,
is.
kept me helped me a lot. Made sense. So, you could either argue against it, which is then all you're doing is telling yourself another story.
So you're going to be arguing for your own limitations, right?
Well, don't we do that?
Oh, we do that a lot.
Yeah, we do that a lot. We do that there.
So, slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady.
I was going to say wins the rain. I don't know why. Maybe because it's raining. Yeah.
We've got some other tips. So I think planning ahead is really important.
I do like what you said a little bit earlier. It's in regards of planning ahead.
Yeah.
Is actually having your goal in your mind and backtrack it.
Yeah, reverse engineering.
That's
the one. Reverse engineer.
I'm gonna write that
You
down.
like that? Reverse engineer. And last week, so or whenever it was, the other week, I was away on a course, so I came back, and normally I'm all for like diving into stuff, but this one is I want to do some planning on this one, but not too much where I'm just spending my whole life planning, because you can talk and talk and talk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So done a lot of planning, and then worked it back, and then working some small milestones and celebrate. You said off air, just like, celebrate those wins.
Small wins, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that first, like, say for like when kids come to martial art, we celebrate the first win is someone stepping in the freaking door. You coach, right?
Yeah.
So the first win is someone getting in contact with you, right? Especially if they've never done it before.
The first step is the hardest one, so it's important, to just acknowledge that and celebrate it.
Yeah, we were talking about mental health a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
and the first win could be like what you just said there, just reaching out. However, you got to reach out, publicly, privately. That's a massive, massive win.
Yeah, asking for help, massive.
And we've missed these little tiny details. And go back to the thing with the roof, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little details. We could, look at how ugly the roof is, but how many little flowers have sprouted up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 or 6.
I just love the colors,
Yeah.
Even though it's small, it actually makes it such a big, massive change.
See, Andrew's just gone now.
I'm gone, guys. I can see there's beautiful blue.
Yeah, but it's a good.
Because violet. I don't know. I can't describe it really.
I'm trying to think what flower they are, but the point is that we miss sometimes the most beautiful of details. I caught something again on social media yesterday. It was, I think it was Albert Einstein that gone into. You seen this one, right?
No.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say that story.
No, you was
No,
not.
I was.
No way. You put it in your head.
I was thinking about. Oh my god.
Go on, Ange. You say it. You say it because you got
About
excited
the
there. calculation.
1 times 9, 2 times
Yeah,
9,
yeah.
etc., etc.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you see, Albert Einstein.
Albert.
Yeah.
Alfred was
Einstein.
his brother.
Yeah. Einstein.
It might have been his second cousin, twice removed.
Okay,
Einstein,
okay.
Yeah.
The famous Einstein, right, wrote the calculations, very simple ones, like 1 times 9 equals 9.
It's a 9 times
so
table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple.
So he wrote it down right to the end when there was 9 times 10. That he wrote it equals 91. And guess what happened? The whole class that was there actually laughed at him, and they actually said, that was wrong, right?
Yeah.
Which obviously was, but that wasn't he did that on purpose. Everybody knows that 9 times 10 is 90. But he put it on 91 just to see how many people will focus on all of those calculations that were correct and how many people will focus on this one calculation that was wrong. And what he was trying to say is that people always tend to focus on this one thing that you've done wrong or the one thing that went wrong, and they discard all of the things that went really well. And we do that every single day. Every single day. Was that the story you were going to say?
Exactly how I would have said it. Yeah.
Areas.
Exactly how I would have said it. I think it was a bit, you got to be prepared to make mistakes.
Of course.
Yeah. We've kind of gone off a bit sidetracked there, but
no,
the
it's
principle's
actually not.
But the principle's the same, right?
Principle is the same because someone
put the pen down, Ange. Oh my God.
Someone might be laughing at your mistake, right? And discarding, just all of those things that you done well. But you do the same thing to yourself too.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying, slow and steady wins the rain. So if you can laugh at those little mistakes, those little hiccups, and focus on about all of those good things you've done, those little, wins you had, and you celebrate it, that will keep you going. And there's only one recipe for failure: stopping trying. If you stop trying, there is no way you're gonna win. But if you're gonna keep going, doesn't matter how slow, how fast, you win. You will always win.
And again, have an abundant mindset for whatever it is. So it's not, we've said it's not going to happen overnight. So you need to look ahead. I know for the thing I'm planning, I'm going to get results, but the results that I want are going to take about 2 years. So it's got to play the long game on it.
Well, listen, at least you've got something to do.
That's what I mean. I'm happy with it. But do you know what? And I thought about it, and I thought this is probably why people don't do it, because they not prepared to wait the 2 years to get the results that they want to get. We want instant
manifestation.
Yeah, basically. I don't know if that's a new thing through whether it's because of technology. Everything's so instant for us now. You turn the TV on, you can, before if you wanted to watch a new film, you have to go down to the video shop and hire it and hope it was there. Whereas now it's instantly there. If you want, same with the games. If you're a gamer, you can instantly download a game. If you want to get hold of someone, you can pretty much instantly send them a message. In the past, some people may not have had even a phone in their house. They've had to walk down to the phone box and get hold of them. Yeah. Well. I know when I used to meet friends, we would, as a teenager, we'd arrange a time and say, well, that's where we're meeting. And you hoped that they would turn up. Whereas now, if someone's not there, you can instantly call and say, hey, you're on your way, or you can instantly. So things are, we are very much getting conditioned for it's instantly there.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I think it's something to be aware of. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because it's not, but everything that comes in that improves your life is just to be aware that it's going to take something else away. Robots, self-checkouts, whatever, they're all great. They speed up a process, but something, means someone maybe couldn't have a job now, but there's always going to be a job and something else. What I'm getting at is that be aware of these things, like how we get conditioned into a way of thinking. I've noticed it. People you know, like in the martial arts fitness, it's you know, obviously we're having to evolve and adapt, but it's almost you got to, in some respects, get to more of a gamification. And I've seen that in other things. It's, you know, maybe like some gyms, they might have leaderboards. Some things have got more gamified in a certain aspect, but you can do that yourself. That's why it's important to have those little milestones. You can gamify it yourself, right? And have that reward, but you have to reward yourself, like, and set, and not just go, oh, wow, done me. Like, take yourself out. Not like, take yourself out, because that would be silly. But, you know, whatever it is, what's the reward you're going to get? And it could be just for getting that task done. Sometimes I would reward myself with just a cup of tea and a chocolate
The thought
bar.
itself, you know, okay, I'm just going to celebrate it with a cup
Yeah.
of tea, you know.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know. Just the thought itself is satisfying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. You know, for
Yeah.
like it's a mini, it'd be like I'll get this done. Once I got this done, I will reward myself with X or whatever it would be. But and you can structure that into your day. So you're conditioning yourself to, hey, I've done this, finish this bit. You'll switch off. You'll be more productive, and just, you know, don't feel you can work till all hours in the evening if you want to, but I think structure your time out so that you're not having bags under your eyes to try and finish something. I've been there and that I want to get this done, but I'm much more structured about things now. So and I don't know if it takes longer or shorter. I don't really care, because time is so important to me, and I want to be able to enjoy the things that I want to do, whether it be going out for something to eat, seeing friends, training. They're my enjoyment times. My children, they're my enjoyment times. Sometimes it's got to switch a little bit, but it's very rare that I have to do that. At the moment, I'm just busy with courses, so I get them out of the way. And so with this, I'm at this learning phase for things that I'm doing at the moment. And once they've completed, I'm looking ahead, think, right, well, now I've got a lot of knowledge that frees up this time, so I'll be back to a bit more normal, and then I'll obviously, you know.
So are
reset to where I
you
need to
saying
be.
that you are at the lobster stage?
Yeah.
again?
I put that in a comment yesterday. Did you see that?
No, I did not. On my channel, to your thoughts again.
Yeah. So I'm at the lobster stage where I gotta hide under the rock a little bit and soften up, grow, harden my shell, come on out. And I got big claws. No, that's getting a bit violent. So yeah.
But that's a good way, you know, just of putting it, explaining it. You know, it's true. It's about creating balance, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and you are the only one who knows what this balance looks like.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you see, we've got this tendency to look at someone who done this, you know, achieved this, and you think, bloody hell, it's coming easy to them. But you just seeing just literally the surface. You don't see all of the struggle, you know, all the time they put into it, how long it really taken.
Yeah.
It's nothing that happened overnight.
Hell
Definitely not. You know, they've just kept being consistent. They kept, you know, their vision really vivid in their mind, and they kept taking the small steps, you know, one after another, after another, after another.
And what I will say, don't get me wrong. So if you're just starting out, let's say it was a business journey or something build up, you know, you don't have to, but that's something I went really heavy into. Maybe what I didn't have then, and what I would advise someone, is to have that, right, you need to plan your, like, how you're going to slow down, because you can't just be going full force into something. Well, if you get the punch bag, right, and many of you go punch out, and it's going to get to a point where it's like, well, you're going to start automatically slowing down. Whereas we structured it, say, right, we're going to go for this amount of time. Let's say we're going to go for a minute blast out. We can do that, and we probably go all out, and then we know at that minute, well, it's time to ease out. But I think the same as, you know, when you put that plan in is, yeah, it might be if you're starting with some. Depends what it is. I think if you're starting a fitness journey, do not go all crazy, all in. What do you think, Hans?
No, you're not going to last.
Well, that's just kind of what I just said. So you got to structure things out. You do have to have your rest time and plan out those holidays. So yeah, I thought it was just a bit important there. But you know, if it was a business thing, so this is quite a broad thing. But slow and steady definitely wins the race, and you'll get there in the end. So make sure you have those rest breaks. They're so important. Otherwise, you'll burn out. You'll be too exhausted. Your work won't be as good, or whatever it is you're doing won't be as effective. And things take time. everything takes time.
Everything
And
takes
it's
time.
all a bit of learning, observing, and tweaking, adjusting,
And celebrating small
That's
wins.
it.
That's something will keep you right on track.
Yeah, that was a good one. That
So
was a good
being
one.
a good to yourself.
Yeah.
This is it.
Be good to yourself, definitely. Got to
Not
love yourself
depend-
first.
Not depending your worth on the outcome.
No,
Mm,
no.
another one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I didn't
Definitely.
lose 10 pounds, so then therefore I must be not worthy.
No.
I didn't, succeed in my business plan, so therefore I must not be, just good enough and worthy. People do that.
I got just something just popped in my head, Ange.
Well,
And it was maybe a Winnie the Pooh thing I said. And it's about, what's the most satisfying thing? Is it the journey? Is it the outcome? Or is it the people that come along with you?
this is the thing, depends where you stand.
I was sat down.
Because quite often the reason why we start doing something is because we have this goal in our mind. But then when you're in it, you're actually doing joint ventures, you're meeting people, and then when everything that's how I'm seeing this now. When you've achieved all of this, as you're looking back, you're thinking, bloody hell, I enjoyed the journey. I enjoyed those hiccups. I enjoyed the people. But I think when you're right at the beginning, you don't have that knowledge to appreciate those two things. So you focus.
No, but you got something else, right? You got excitement and energy.
Yes. So excitement, energy, and a vision is something what gets you going, right? But I think you get to a certain point where you can look back.
Yeah.
And you appreciate where you've been.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Definitely, yeah.
So I think it depends where you're standing.
I think it's they come together. It's another together. I think they all come together because obviously the outcome's great. That's your purpose, your why that you've been working for, and actually your end outcome is with you the whole time. I hope. In theory. Oh, that was deep. And what are we doing for time? And what was the other one? Yeah, the journey is satisfying because the ups downs. We have a challenge and you overcome that challenge. Hitting your mini goals when you get there, you feel, oh my god, I've completed this now. So that's important. Definitely there, the people that you meet on the way and become part of that journey from beginning to end. Even the ones that get off the bus, because some people are going to step out. That's okay. They're still part of it, even if they was a bit of a pain in the backside. It's still part of the whole thing. So it all comes together. So yeah, it's all good in the hood, as they say in the hood, when it's good. I think thank you for watching, listening. Don't forget, leave a 5-star review, of course, and share. And if there's anything else you would add, well, put it in the comments. That just makes absolute sense because I know we haven't covered everything, and it's nice when we get a conversation going.
100%.
Definitely, even if you're a troll that set up fake profiles like you did the other week, but it's funny. So thank you for that. That was cool. But any drop in some comments on what you think below. Happy days. Happy days. Well, we will see you. Anything you want to add, Ange? Because I just kind of automatically assume we're finishing up. But anything to add? Bye.
Keep believing in yourself and keep going. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
That's Michael Jackson. Don't stop till you get enough. Peace, love, always.